Okay, I couldn't remember if I'd ever actually shown you guys when I was mordanting, but this is going to be our next batch of iron prints. I've got three beautiful silk charmeuse scarves in there for us to practice with all the eucalyptus that I brought home. The library is back in business today. And then over here, I have our oak gall tannins already. Let me grab them. And they look like beer once they're dissolved. I use a little bit of hot water. I kind of guesstimated on the amount, and I don't really care if it dyes the fabric a little. That's really the only thing that happens, is that it becomes more of a dye than a tannin bath if you add too much of the oak gall tannins, which I don't care about because we're going to be making it react with iron. So it's not an issue for me if it turns a little bit of a color. But these are going to be our next prints, and then hopefully our silk fabric will come so that we can do a couple more experiments as well that aren't on fancy charmeuse, although I'm not sure that the fabric that I bought cost any less than the fancy charmeuse. And then over in the sink, we have all our iron dye blankets soaking. I found that the more you soak them, the better. And again, we want to agitate all of these because we're actually embedding microscopic iron particles, literally, into the fabric. So we're trying to embed all of it really evenly. So we want to agitate this and make sure that all of the fabric gets a very even dose of iron. And I'll even take some of the fabric out before I do it and give them each their own long, spread them all out and give them a long dunk in there. And now I will go check the mailbox for our last fabric so that can start pre-soaking and we can mordant it perhaps later or tomorrow. But this should be a lot of fun. See, this one needs to be unfolded. All right, I'm going to unfold these and make sure that they're all loose and soaking up good iron dye baths so that we're ready to go. And I will stir the oak gall a couple of times and get us ready to do some prints on silk today and fabric, but mostly excited about the silk, and that usually uses up almost all the plastic to cover all that nonsense. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, we have our silk charmeuse laid out here. We're going to go for all eucalyptus on this guy using all the different kinds we have. One, this will test what colors all these weird eucalyptuses come out. Two, this will see if it's officially oak gall tannin that is needed to make that red, because we'll also make one with something that is mordanted in something else. And we'll see what that looks like when we do another silk test. But anyway, here is our beginning of our printing for the day. I will get iron blankets. I'll try to get a picture of this when all the leaves are down, and we'll see how it comes out. Okay, here is our eucalyptus test. I have a little bit of every eucalyptus that I have, and we're gonna let her rip. Okay, this is eucalyptus test number 2. This is being done onto cotton, not silk. So we're going to see if these impart the same reds and greens that they do onto the silk, if they do it onto cotton. And then we're also going to do one more test and do it not on oak gall tannin mordanted fabric to see if it will react just with the iron. And those are going to be our 3 of those. And then I think I'm going to do a red bud experiment by dipping the leaves in iron. But I'm going to blanket this guy up and roll it and move on. This is just turning into a eucalyptus test, and that's fine. So we're going to have 4 steams of eucalyptus on different materials to see if we can work out which of these eucalyptus is actually giving off color, or if it's just a reaction, or what the hoodle is happening. So these are oak gall plus alum, so there still should be some reaction, but it should take up color better. And then the last one we'll do is either alum only or alum triformate, whatever one is left. The bags are getting crazy. Anyway, we'll roll this guy up too. One more, get steaming. Okay, final dye blanket experiment. This will be just alum triformate. I was going to dip them in iron, but then I would be changing the process and we wouldn't be getting a true experiment. So this will be our control where it does not have oak gall to interact with. It will just have to interact with the tannins in the leaf. All right, I'm going to roll these up and get them steaming for 2 hours. See you in 2 hours, eucalyptus babies. Bye. Okay, and it's been about 2 hours for these kids. Whew. Oh, Lord. Well, it's well steamed. All right, I'm going to get these out, let them cool, because those will be real hot. And then when they're cool, we will unwind and see if our eucalyptus experiment was successful. All right, here we are. Some of these are still too hot to open, but I think I can get the small ones open. And to be perfectly honest, I'm only not letting them cool off more because I want to print something else, so I need their dowels back. I want to do an experiment with my redbud leaves before they wilt too much. So these are our eucalyptus experiments. We did them on oak gall with silk, oak gall on a cotton. We did them on oak gall plus alum, and we did them on alum triformate. So we would see, but all with eucalyptus, so we could see if we could get some of the colors that we liked and we're looking for. So let's see. So remember, dye blanket will be on top. And looks like we did pretty well. And it's not quite too hot to touch. Okay, plastic out of the way. Oh, these smell a lot. Intense, I guess. Okay, so we definitely got them resisting so far. So dye blanket, very pretty. I don't know how much of that will actually stay, but it's gorgeous. So beautiful dye blanket. And then here's our actual print, which is, I think, 2 pieces of fabric. Unless I do have these backwards again. Oh, look, these printed. No, we did it. 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 And the little tiny leaves did turn red. These little bitty ones that look like little hearts, those did turn red too. I wonder what they did on the silk. I bet it's going to be cool. Okay, almost. Ooh, we got some of the really good peppering. Wow, eucalyptus just coming in clutch. I'm glad I live around a bunch of what are considered windbreaks here. Not ornamental plants. We all hate them because they're very allergy inducing, which is why I'm always going in these videos and sound like I use stuff. Okay, so we have 2 pieces here, but look at how beautiful. Look at the detail. Look at the detail. And they did come off red, even on a what they call cellulose fabric, meaning vegetable fibers. And this one's cool too. Both sides are cool. I hope that all of that red doesn't wash out because the print effect is beautiful. Hey, I think we're really starting to get the hang of this, y'all. I think we might almost, you know, have part of a concept. Oh, I love it. Okay, there's one. And we'll launder and dry just like always. Okay, here's another. Where's the one that I think won't have worked? Is that the one I thought wouldn't work? No, this one. Okay, this one I can still see the green of the plant, which makes me think that nothing reacted. And that's okay, because we were doing this to discover what would happen with all of the eucalyptus. So I think this is the one that's going to be on the alum triformate, which means that the only thing that might actually print is the dye blanket, because that's the only thing that wants to react with the tannins, because the alum triformate doesn't care. Well, something reacted. Okay. What did I do here? Oh, okay. Maybe it did. Was I just thinking that the green from this plastic bag was a leaf? I need to give myself to the circus. Whoa, look at that color. Oh my gosh. Wow, 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 wow. I'm pretty sure that this is the oak gall plus alum, which, as we theorized, I thought the color might come out better because it's oak gall and alum. This is the dye blanket? No. This is upside down. This is not the dye blanket. This is the print. The dye blanket's underneath. I've flipped it. Heh. There we go. Okay, here we go. Whoa, they turned orange on this one. Okay, so it really is dependent upon what mordant you use. And this was already black. Like, these were nearly black dye blankets when I put them in. Whoa. Wow, look how pretty. This is the throwaway part. I love them too much. It's too fun. Okay, and then we have, here's another dye blanket. Just trying to get us all taken apart here. Oh, these came out great. I really like these rough. Well, I guess we'll be keeping that. I'm gonna have to go buy more fabric just for dye blankets. Look how cool. Ugh, this is the dye blanket. That's not even the part you keep. And then this also is a little chunk of dye blanket here that I just had to like tack onto the end there. Okay, let's see how these did. Here's our big pieces. And these, oh my God, these are oak gall and then alum. So that is the way to go if you want to do these cottons and get crazy colors. Oak gall plus alum. We have learned that secret, at least for doing cellulose fibers, because down to like this tiny leaf, it got a print. It turned these kind of orange rather than red. Oh my God, look how fun these are. They're too good. And look, he matches his little brother. Look at, they're so beautiful being friends together. Okay, here's dye blanket number, or no, this is the print, not the dye blanket. Confirmed that. I took them out upside down. Oh my gosh. Okay, so oak gall plus alum is where, at least for the iron dye blanket process on cotton, that is where you need to be. If you like this look, if you like the other looks better, then don't do this at all. But if you like this wackety wackety color, and look, this one even got a tiny bit of the freckling on there. These look like frickin' Halloween. Okay, we're getting a great reaction, obviously, because the tannin and the alum is just grand. Oh my gosh, I hope these come out as beautiful when they're dry. This one's the best one so far. I mean, except for all of that. Like, what do you even... Well, I'm glad I did these in pieces. I don't know. I'm just going to give people a piece of fabric. I made this for you. Just random scraps of fabric. You're welcome for my gift. Or I'll just make a giant blanket that's all from dead pants. Wouldn't be weird at all. For me, anyway. Okay, number 3. Sorry, I try not to make these 3-hour videos. Hopefully I can keep this one under 20 minutes, since we all know the process for the most part now. If you don't know the process, please go back to my other videos. They are far more detailed about all the nonsense we're getting up to here. Okay, here is the one. Okay, this one might not work for sure. This is the one with the dot. Nope, this is, nope, it's fine. Never mind. Just don't listen to me. Obviously don't know what I'm talking about. So it doesn't care if you use the alum triformate, it seems. It also will dye right through, apparently, onto there. Oh gosh, well, I don't... Okay, we'll flip it, because these are our dye blankets. I had to cut them crossways to make it work. Oh, this is the one. Okay. Look, I was right. It didn't print on here, or it barely did. It'll still be cool. But it did make the dye blanket go crazy because you can see the old dye blanket underneath. Okay, so the iron reacted to the tannins in the leaf. It did not react to that. So theoretically, you could just make an iron blanket, use that as your mordant, stick a bunch of leaves down onto it, and then just use another blanket as a blocker, honestly, because it's absolutely lovely. And I was theorizing, I think you'll remember, as I wrapped this one up, that I thought that the dye blanket might come out better than the actual print, and I was right, because look how cool this is. But that means we can try and recreate that just with iron dye on a mordanted fabric, or on a not an iron mordanted fabric, because look at that. And then these, it doesn't matter if the whole piece of fabric is beautiful, just cut out pieces. If you hear cats raging, they just ate their early dinner, and so they're feisty. Okay, so we were right. We may do just an iron dye blanket experiment and use that as a mordant and just print right onto the iron, because those leaf prints are cool. And that deep rusty red is so nice. We'll see if it washes out first. Okay. Yeah, these are cool. Okay, we're just gonna have to get straight iron blankets just for the eucalyptus printing. It's too good. Well, I didn't want to have to go to Joann's and go to the cutting counter, because the old ladies there are mean and they yell at you if you're not right where you're supposed to be in line. Yeah. Okay, we're going back to iron dye blankets for this. I also think that this is probably why the, what was it? The flip-flapping red bud came out so good, but only on the iron dye blanket side. Okay, so we did get some really cool prints on these, actually, even though it's not, because I put very wet iron blankets on there. So it's still pretty cool, even without having any oak gall. Is that a bee written on there? Someone write on my fabric? Rude. I don't think there was a bee on the plastic bag. I don't know what that bee is. Anyway, ghosts. The ghosts are talking to us through the prints. That came out cool. I'm really impressed, actually, that these came out at all. I did not think that these would print very much, so this still was very, very successful and very data rich. I think that, evidently, the eucalyptus is just so ferociously tannin rich that you don't have to worry too much about it transferring something, which makes me even more excited to do our big pieces of silk. That sounds super fun. Okay, so here's our pieces. I want to spread these out so we can see how pretty the dye blankets are, because they are so pretty. Let us look at them and admire the dye blankets. They're so printy. I love them. I love both sides for different reasons. Okay, now the big spender. And by spender, I mean literally it's $16 every time I try to make a scarf. But it's worth it because we're getting it right. And if that's any indication, this is going to be badass. I didn't say the A word. YouTube, don't demonetize me. I'm not monetized anyway. I'm not cool enough for that, believe me. But if you'd like to like and subscribe, that would be great, because that really helps me out. Okay, let's undoodle our big scarf, which I always forget how gigantic they are, and I get wet plastic everywhere. Okay, saving that. And our dye blanket should be on top. Ugh! Okay, yes, because I had to use multiple dye blankets. Oh, ho, 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 ho. I see colors. Amazing. I don't know exactly how I get these wrapped up so upside down, but here we go. Ooh, so hot, so hot, so hot in the middle. Yee, so hot. So hot. Okay, we're free. We're free. We're free. Still don't understand how we end up with the plastic backwards. Okay, dye blankets coming off. These are like pitch black now because of how many times they have been used as dye blankets. They've just reacted that much. So if you ever want to know how black you can get your fabric with just oak gall tannin and iron, that's how black. Okay, very pretty. Looks like it did exactly what we wanted. And we got colors coming up crazy down here at the end. Oh my gosh, look at that. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to go not kill, well, they are invasive, so it doesn't matter if I killed them, but I'm gonna have to go get more eucalyptus leaves because this is way too beautiful again. Okay, there's the dye blanket out of the way. Let's get all the leaves off and look at the review as I pull these leaves off, you guys. Oh my god, it's so pretty. This is gonna shimmer when it's all done. It's gonna look so crazy. Oh my gosh. I'm in love. This almost makes me brave enough to print with the red bud leaves onto a scarf. What am I afraid of ruining? I've ruined a million things. So silly. Oh my gosh, this is gorgeous. Look at all the colors we got. These little guys turn red to orange. The rounder ones we got turn very orange. The big round ones turn yellow, more like a normal eucalyptus. Just getting the ones off of the end here. Sorry that you can't see that off frame. Trying to get the last ones off so we can have a look. Oh, there's a screaming cat having a meltdown. He can't reach his new jungle gym without being brave, and so he would like me to lift him onto it in the non-brave area where he feels confident. Okay, look at this. Look at our scarf. Look. Look at our scarf, you guys. It's so beautiful. I'm going to pull these little leafies off. And we know the color is going to stay because we've already done this once. We just hadn't done it with this kind of eucalyptus. Look how great we did. Yay! Okay, I'm going to go launder these and hang them so they'll be ready to look at in just a little bit. And I'll probably go do another dye experiment because there's hours left in the day. And it's clearly still daylight. I will see you when these are laundered. Goodbye! Well, just a quick review of our amazing eucalyptus prints. This is our print onto oak gall plus alum. That absolutely seems to be the most successful way to print if you are doing it onto vegetable fiber. So, that we definitely know. And that was the oak gall plus alum with iron dye blankets onto what I'm pretty sure is the Kaufman muslin from the fancy cotton pile. Now this one is on fancy cotton again. It's not the Kaufman muslin, believe it or not. I marked the edges of every single piece of fabric and it corresponds to a very deranged stickered guide. But anyway, we had kind of mixed results on this one where we got some really great iron prints and we got more color than I was expecting. It has a really interesting look and we did get some iron outlines. So this is the best print we've gotten on one of the other fabrics, which I think we can attest to. Better iron dye blankets, better technique, and using really good eucalyptus. So these ones took on a really interesting look, which if you were going for that look, you can make these look like lemons. You could stitch
these into all kinds of little fruits. If you wanted to sew over this, you could make these into all sorts of fruits and all kinds of things. So that was our second successful print of the day. This is our third print of the day, which was on the alum triformate, I believe. It really depends on the cotton that you're using, how much it likes to take a print. I do think that this has really pretty areas, and it does have actual color variation, and they are prints, so it was successful. It's just perhaps a little more subtle of a fabric look. But if you were using this to make like pants or like a cool jumper or like romper style pants or maybe overalls, I don't think you could beat that pattern because it's so subtle. It's Bog Camo. Final official print of the day was our iron blanket over oak gall tannin silk charmeuse. And we had done this on regular habotai style silk, but we had not done it on the shiny, beautiful silk charmeuse. And this one ended up a lot less see-through than the last one we did that was loquat tannin. So it definitely had a stronger reaction to the oak gall tannin. But look at the colors! We did so great on this one. And still, these particular leaves of the eucalyptus really look like little strawberries. I just love these, and I love the iron around the prints, and the charmeuse is just so shiny. It's so lovely. And then as the last thing, I want to show you guys some of the epic dye blankets that came off of these, because some of the dye blankets are honestly, in my opinion, better than the prints. So here is the first set, and these, I believe, came off of some of the smaller pieces. But look at how cool these are, and this is quite literally just from the iron interacting, which makes me think that I should do one just iron mordanted cloth and just throw it in there with a bunch of leaves. And let me show you the other one, which I was reusing these dye blankets, so they've already taken a bunch of color. So some of them have prints from past ones underneath these. And along those lines, I got two absolutely incredible dye blankets out of this that I will be keeping personally. Okay, final item. This might be the favorite thing I've made yet, and it was a dye blanket. You can see where other things printed it before. But look how beautiful that came out, and even a little bit of red came through. Oh, it's like a picture, and it is a picture. It's a picture of that plant where you steamed it. And then this is a portion of the other dye blanket. But they all got really neat prints on them, and this one in particular might be my favorite out of all of them. Anyway, thank you for coming on yet another very long dye journey. I will start trying to do less at a time. I only did like 3 or 4 this time, and it's still really long. Well, anyway, if you would like or subscribe or leave me a comment and let me know which ones are your favorite, I would be so grateful to know. I'm thinking like maybe I could use these to make it look like they were dangling down and use these as like butterfly wings or something. We can make these like very pictorial, I think. Anyway, thank you for coming, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!